Hi, I'm Les Ingelstead, and I'm here with my new friend on Universal Interiors. This is Mary Lee Linden, and I met her exactly 2 months ago that I can recall. We were in Detroit Lakes High School, and we were celebrating veterans and the amazing gifts and the sacrifices. And you may recognize her name because she lost her son in '06. Is that right?
Yes.
But first off, I would love for them to know a little bit about you, Mary Lee, and your family, and where you're from, and you have other kids, and if you want to just tell me a little bit about you.
Okay, I have a daughter. She was our firstborn, Sarah, and she's married to Todd, and they live in Detroit Lakes, and she has 5 children.
Oh, wow.
Her oldest is 18, going to graduate this year, my oldest grandchild, and her youngest just turned 3 Thursday.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah,
So that keeps you busy
she's got a
right
big
there.
span, and I just love it.
How
I
wonderful.
love my grandchildren, and we spend lots of time together.
Great.
And my son lives in Fargo. He's married to Angela, and they're both busy. He has 4 children, and he's a real busy guy, and yeah, we always try to get together, so.
Very nice to have kids just so close by.
Yes, it is.
So, and your son Troy, was he there in the middle, or was he your youngest?
Troy was the baby.
Was the baby
He
of the
didn't like
family.
being called the baby, but he was my baby, so.
Okay. And he was a Detroit Lakes High School graduate.
Yeah. Yep.
You raised your family right around here.
Oh, yeah. Myself, too, and my husband, both
Oh,
born and
really?
raised and lived here all our life.
Oh,
His mom and dad just live a few miles from us out by Buffalo Lake
Okay.
in Rochert. So,
Okay.
yep.
Very good. And you were raised here in the town,
Oh, yeah.
Detroit Lakes? Yep.
I was a McLeod girl.
Oh, that's right. Mitch
And
McLeod told
Mitch
me.
is the activities director,
Right, yep.
I believe.
Athletic, right?
Athletic, yes. Yep, he's my
Yeah.
cousin. So
Very
it was just
good.
my dad and his brother Elton, or Uncle Sonny we called him, and he's passed away, and so is my dad.
Okay.
But we're close with our cousins too. So,
So your family's close.
oh yeah.
So when a family has to go through something so tragic, I'm certain that if there's already a closeness, then it has helped you in tremendous ways. I'm certain.
I come from a family of 5 girls, and I was talking to a mother that had lost her son, Mrs. Hanson, and she was talking about, therapy and, how you're getting through this. And I said, I have 4 sisters, and if it wouldn't have been for them, couldn't have gotten through it. That, and of course my community, and it all helps.
Certainly would. Now, I found a wee bit about Troy. He was in high school. Wasn't his favorite thing to do, though, be in school?
No,
Is that right?
no. Teachers used to say he was his own worst enemy.
Really?
Yep, he was very smart, but very, I don't know, his mind was somewhere else, and, he just loved to be outside and in the snow, and of course, being a snow baby, born in January, he loved the snow. But he also loved the mud. When he was like 5, he said, Mom, can I please ride my bike through the mud puddles, please?
That was the high,
Yeah,
huh?
yep, that's what he wanted to do.
Very cute.
So, but he got through, and him and his brother were just a year apart in high school.
Okay.
And so they were like oil and water, but as they grew up, they, accepted each other for their different personalities.
Sure, I certainly relate. Everyone who ever tells me that has a sibling, usually it's one of those, like that oil and water kind of, but then grow into it. So.
Yep, they learn to the compromise and unconditional acceptance.
Absolutely. Love comes in handy, that's for sure, in those siblings.
But then when Ryan graduated and went on to college, that was Troy's senior year, and I think he was a little lost,
Sure.
You always, when you're older siblings, they kind of hold you accountable, and so he kind of got lost and was having trouble in school, and that's what I was telling you on Veterans Day, that I was so thankful for the teachers and the principal, and that they helped keep him and us helping him on the right track.
That's a really great compliment for the school system to recognize that. That's for sure.
Yep. And
So
I even sent the counselor, now I'm going to forget her name, Doreen.
Doreen Richter?
Yes. After a few years, and Troy was through boot camp and on to, Germany, and I actually sent her a Christmas card and thanked her for.
Oh, that is so splendid.
Yep.
To recognize that educators, sometimes that part gets missed.
I know.
And as parents, to say what you have and to recognize it later on.
Yep.
That's pretty huge. I wish more people took time to do something like that.
Yep.
But did he sign up right away then out of high school?
No, he was pretty agitated with us. He didn't want to follow rules anymore.
Sure.
So the minute he moved or graduated from high school, he moved to Montana. And my daughter lived in Montana at the time. And so I felt safe that, he was going to be by his big sister. And so he lived out there, and he was a telemarketer.
Okay.
And he was actually good at it. I said, I don't know how you can take all them no's. But he said, water off a duck. He was a really easygoing kid. And
nice.
so then he was out there about a year, and then he signed up with the U.S. Army because here in Detroit Lakes we just have the reserves, or the National Guard, so or the Army Reserve, I guess. So he signed up and then went to Missouri for boot camp, and then was stationed in Germany. And yeah.
And how long was he in Germany? And that was his boot camp. So from here in the States, then he went right there.
Yep. He went to Missouri for boot camp, and then Germany. He was there a good year. Okay. Because he went over to Iraq in, I want to say, end of 04, October of 04, I want to say, because I think they got to have active duty 2 years. Okay. So we have him now in 04, and he's now begun to serve in Iraq. Mm-hmm. Were you able to have him back home, and he went back there? He knew he was going to go back to Iraq? Yep. Okay. Yep, he would get leaves, come home on leaves. There was one time he came home on leave and went to Wee Fest, and we've got wonderful pictures from all that, him all cowboyed up. And
some good memories made, and he knew what he was about to go back into.
Yep. Well, and then he had been there 6 months, or he only had 6 months left. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. He wasn't there 2 years. He was there a year. He'd been there 6 months. He was coming home on leave, and I decided to give him a homecoming, a welcome home. Oh, really. And a lot of people do welcome home when they're done and they're home.
Isn't that something? Well, I am going to pick up on this story with you. I'm hoping that it'll be fine with Mary Lee. We're going to continue on this conversation the next time we see you on Universal Interiors. I'm just mighty grateful to find a little bit more about you, and now we're going to find a bit more about your hero, your son, next time.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us.